How's it going, everyone? My name is Jose, and welcome back to the Angry Weekend Show. Let's get into this. Okay, folks, so my last video was watching a Donald Trump rally, doing some commentary, breaking some things down, giving my 2 cents, my opinion. No secret, I'm pro-Trump. However, to make things fair, we're going to go ahead and watch a Joe Biden rally. Now, mind you, in the last video that I did not watch the entire Trump rally. Most of it. It was about an hour and a half long. The video would have been like 3 hours. So I decided not to, because I think in the first few minutes, first half hour, you kind of get the gist of what I was trying to say. So with that said, we're gonna take a look now at Mr. Joe Biden and his rally the same day that Trump had his rally that I did the video on. The reason for that, I wanted to show a rally from both days, right? Because you would think, as far as Joe Biden is concerned, that he knows Trump is having a rally. And you're going to have a rally, not a rally. You're going to have a rally the same day. So you would think you're going to up your game, because we have to draw a contrast. I mean, the election is, quickly approaching us, and we have to make a decision. So you would think that Joe Biden would go out of his way and just fucking kill it. But that's not exactly what we'd see. Now, prior to this, I'm not going to show you the video, but prior to this, when he was in the airplane, or getting into the airplane, or getting out of the airplane, I believe it was getting out of the airplane, they asked him about Amy's religious, stuff, because of the whole confirmation that's going on, and he forgot Mitt Romney's name. So that right there, it's a bad start for the day. So let's see how the rally went. And as usual, not a whole lot of people there. There was a whole bunch of Trump supporters in the background shouting out 4 more years, 4 more years. So that had to be a bit of a distraction for him, because they were literally like a couple of, few yards away. And there's a whole bunch of cars in front of him, but I think there's not that a whole lot of people in those cars. But that's no here nor there. We are going to dive into it. Let's take a look at it. Like the other video, I'll stop. I'll make some commentary. You may or may not agree with what I'm saying, but fuck it. That's what we have to do, because we have to vote for somebody. So we got to look at both of them. And unfortunately, Joe Biden's rallies is not as fun or as entertaining as a Trump rally. That's for sure. But hopefully it's full of substance. I don't think it is, but hopefully it's full of substance. We found out from the last video that I did with Trump. He tells you what he's going to do, how he's going to do it, why he's going to do it. Like, he gives you a lot of information, which is why I had to cut the video short, because he talks too damn much. But Joe Biden doesn't talk much. If I'm not mistaken, this particular video is only like half an hour long. So we'll dive into it, see what happens. Hopefully we can get through the whole thing without falling asleep. But we shall do our best. So let's start. Right off the bat, I'm seeing a huge contrast. Not a whole lot of people there.
Toledo! This feels like coming home. Well, I tell you what, my dad was an automobile man. I got through school, and we got through being able.
All right, so I don't mean to cut so fast, but right off the rip, my dad was an automobile man. Okay. Right off the rip, you know what this says? He's going to go into a story about some shit in the past that nobody knows about. We don't even know if the story is going to tell us true, but let's hear his story. Hopefully the man's going to make a point with the story. Right? I'm looking for a point. You want to tell me a story? That's fine. Tell me a story. Tell me all the stories you want. But wrap it up and get to the punchline. Kind of like a comedian, right? A comedian to tell you a story, and then at the end is a punchline. So when politicians talk, okay, you're going to tell me a story. You're going to tell me something. But hey, at the end of it, let me know what the fuck you're trying to do. Okay, you're trying to say. So let's continue. So he's talking about his daddy now.
Able to eat after we lost a job up in Scranton, Pennsylvania. He had moved down to Delaware because it's selling General Motors products. And so I've known, and my state used to have the largest percentage of auto workers of any state in the nation because we had a small population and the largest General Motors and largest Chrysler plant outside of Michigan and Ohio. And I saw what happened when we got hit very hard. We've lost both those plants. But let me start off by saying, Mr. Mayor, thanks for the passport into your city.
All right, okay. So what was the point he was trying to make? He fucking lost me somewhere in my dad. Scranton used to have two automobiles, and what happened to us, and they went bye-byes. Well, last I recall, what happened to him was I don't know about NAFTA. Probably. Who knows? I don't fucking know. But definitely Trump wasn't in power when those plants went bye-byes. I know that. So I have no idea what he said. So now he's basically starting over. This is probably what he should have said in the beginning. But let's continue.
And Marcy, you've been a friend a long time. Thank you for your introduction. You know, there's no more fierce defender. There's no more fierce defender. The people she grew up with than Marcy. She has never, ever, ever forgotten where she came from.
There's no more fear. The people, does he even know how to put sentences together? Like, I'm not trying to make this video like a Bash Biden video. But seriously, come on, man. The fuck? You gotta put words together properly. Like, I know I'm not the most perfect linguist out there, and I'm probably gonna butcher the fuck out of a lot of sentences. But then again, I speak 2 languages, so you're gonna give me a break. You know, you only speak 1, so he only speaks 1 language, so he shouldn't be able to fuck that up. I speak 2 languages, so I think I get a pass if I fuck up a little bit on the English language because my first language is Spanish. You feel me? So he, however, should say coherent sentences, at least. So let's continue, Joe. Tell me something, buddy.
She's tough. She's a straight shooter. She's influential in Congress.
He was going to say she shoots straight, but it says she shoots a straight shooter. Jesus Christ, Joe, you can't even say that correctly? Stop. Listen, I know we're about 5 seconds, not even not even a minute into this video, and already I'm like this is crazy. This is the guy that supposedly is winning in the polls. Kidding me? Come on.
She's honest and she sees you. You're always in her view.
She must be Jesus.
And Tony, Mr. President, I know you're new, and he said piece of cake, so I don't have to worry if I get elected the first 100 days. But all kidding aside, Tony, thank you for hosting us, and thank you for Local 14. And Kenyatta, thanks for that introduction. All you did for Barack.
Did I say Kenya something? Thanks for that introduction. I don't know.
And me, when we were running, when we got elected, jumping in and being part of helping us govern.
Jojo, was it when you were running or when you got elected? Which one is it, bud? Talk straight over here. Jesus, we still got another 25 minutes to go.
Remind me of something my dad said. He said, Joey, a job's about a lot more than a paycheck. It's about your dignity. It's about your place in the community. It's about respect. It's about being able to say to your kid and look him in the eye and say everything's going to be okay and mean it. That's what job's about.
That line, he said it a shitload of times before. I guess it's one of his go-to, I guess he's trying to like let us know that he understands, I guess. All right, well, keep on talking about your daddy. So far, I mean, it's only a couple minutes into it, but I haven't really heard anything interesting just yet. besides a few verbal clusterfucks there.
A decent paying job like the UAW provides. This lesson I grew up with, surrounded by hard-working families in Scranton and then in Claymont, Delaware, where we had to move when Dad lost work. There was no work in Scranton. Just like here in Toledo. But the times are hard. Unemployment is way up due to the pandemic and the terrible way in which it's been handled. The economic outlook remains uncertain. Across Ohio.
I have to stop him there. The economy, it's not doing too good as far as jobs is concerned. Yes, because of the coup. However, it's mainly Democratic cities that are making it worse because they're keeping everything in like perpetual lockdown. As far as Trump is concerned, if he wanted to, he'll open everything up right now. You know, just wear a mask, wash your hands, do what you got to do, do social distancing, whatever you got to do. But as far as he's concerned, we open the whole thing up and get this money coming. He doesn't want to do that, but he uses the whole coup thing as I don't know. I guess that's his. I guess that's what he's campaigning on. He would have done a better job, but he had the swine flu, and I don't think they did a hell of a job with that one. But let's see if maybe, perhaps, Mr. Biden has a solution, and what could he have done better? Because, as far as I'm concerned, Trump did what he could have done. I mean, he's not all-knowing. He's just a human being. He has to go by what the advisors tell him. And I think he handled it just as good as anybody else would have handled it. Hell, this guy probably would have handled it the same exact way. But let's proceed.
In the country, folks are worried about making the next mortgage payment or the rent payment, whether or not they can purchase their prescription drugs or be able to put food on the table. Literally. Worried about whether their kids' schools open and be able.
I thought putting food on the table was figuratively speaking, not literally. What was all that about? Literally. Well, no shit. Literally. We literally pay our rent. We literally got to work. We literally got to eat and put food on the table. No shit.
Able to stay open. And if they're not open, how they can go to work if they have a job and still take care of their kids.
You know what he just said? How they I can't even say it. This guy's fucking me up. By the time I'm done with this video, I'm gonna be talking just like Joe Biden in incoherent sentences and improper grammar. People talk about Donald Trump all the time about he made 5,000 grammatical errors and misspells on his tweets. This guy can't utter a sentence properly. Like, he can't even match words together as he speaks. I can understand you're typing, typo or whatever, but what the fuck, guy? You're killing me over here, guys. You're killing me. This is what you guys got to offer when you had Tulsi. You had Tulsi and Pete Buttigieg. Y'all had those two. Legit. Hell, people could have. We could have voted for that. We could have voted for that, but instead you got Biden. You're kidding me.
They see the people at the very top doing better than they ever have, while they're left to wonder, who's looking out for me? That's Donald Trump's presidency. 215,000 dead because of COVID. Experts say we're likely to lose another 200,000 people in the next few months unless we take some serious action. And he doesn't know what he's.
See, I don't like how they framed this. 200,000 people dead because of Trump. How? Did Trump create the WUFU? No. And if I'm not mistaken, and this people have been debating this. I'm not even debating. There's been tons of videos that you can find out the timeline. When Trump banned travel from China, this mofo was talking about it's xenophobic. Huh? During that same time, Nancy Pelosi was telling people to go to Chinatown. Everything is cool. No problem. Everything is fine. And they're worried about the Trump downplaying this shit. But he's making it seem like it's Trump's fault that we got the coof. Like, shit happens. You know what I mean? Maybe it's his fault that he listened to the experts and shut down a chunk of the economy for a little bit. We'll give him blame for that. Maybe he didn't have to do that. But he sided on the side of caution. Okay, fine. Let's shut some stuff down for a while, and then we'll take it from there. But it is the mostly Democratic cities that want to continue the shutdown. And if Joe gets elected, he's going to continue the shutdown as well, because I don't think he's in control at all. I just really don't. But let's continue. So far, he hasn't said shit.
Doing. All because this president's only worried about one thing, the stock market. He refused to follow the science. It's estimated that if we just wore these masks nationally, we'd save over 100,000 lives between...
That's another thing. Trump is just worried about the stock market. As I said in my previous video, the stock market is a good indication that the country is doing good financially. So the fuck you talking about, Joe?
Now, in the end of the year, this president knew back in January, he was briefed in detail by the intelligence community how extremely dangerous this COVID virus was, how communicable the disease was. He went in a taped interview with Bob Woodward, a leading journalist. It's on tape and played.
Another lie.
Telling Woodward that he knew how dangerous the disease was, but did nothing. Ask yourself.
Yeah. It's this type of shit that drives me nuts, right? This is why I got the Angry Rican show, because this kind of stuff gets me angry. He's lying. You can go and watch the video, the interview yourself. Essentially what he's saying, what Trump was saying, is that he didn't want people to panic. You know what I'm saying? And that is perfectly fine. That is what you're supposed to do, because I don't know if you guys noticed, but with the little bit of panic that we had, we ran out of fucking toilet paper. We ran out of toilet paper. Like, legit, people were selling fucking toilet. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is crazy. People were getting in trouble for hoarding toilet paper. And that was just a little itty bitty panic. So it's almost like these guys want Trump to be like, hey guys, we got this coup going on and we're all gonna fucking die. So just brace yourself. No president in the right mind is gonna do that. You know the craziness that would happen if people thought the world was gonna end or some crazy catastrophic thing was gonna happen. People will eat each other alive. Like, people are interesting. We've seen a lot of horror stories, and you know what humans are capable of doing. And imagine humans that think that they're gonna die. If you think you're gonna die today, are you worried about anything? Are you know what I mean? Like, it's an iffy. The president has to keep us calm. Sometimes they have to kind of, they kind of have to hide some shit from us. They just have to. So let's move on.
Why didn't he tell us? Why didn't he warn us? He said nothing.
By the way,
he told Woodward that he didn't want to panic the American people. That's why he said nothing.
That's right.
We don't panic. America doesn't panic. But Trump panicked. His reckless personal conduct since his diagnosis has been unconscionable.
You know what I want to know? Why the fuck is Joe Biden screaming when there isn't a whole lot of people there in the first place? Like, and if they're in their cars, I'm under the assumption that they probably have, like they do in the drive-in theaters, where you put the particular station and then you can hear what he's saying. But I don't know what the fuck he's screaming for. It's not like it's a huge crowd and he has to like talk over them, unless he's probably screaming because he got the Trump supporters on the other side screaming 4 more years.
The longer Donald Trump is president, the more reckless he seems to get. Dr. Fauci, the most respected doc on this issue in the world, in the country, he told the president, the president's announcement of his pick for the Supreme Court in the Rose Garden, he referred to that as a super spreader. All those people that got the disease. How's he
Jesus Christ. Why can this man complete a sentence without a fuck up? Joe Biden's been around for 47 years. And if you look at Joe Biden 10 years ago, he didn't fuck up like this. So, just food for thought.
Responding. Well, guess what? He's now running an ad you probably saw, a national ad quoting Dr. Fauci out of context. Way back in March, referring to public health officials, Dr. Fauci said, "I can't imagine that anybody could be doing more," end of quote. In the recent ads that's going out nationally, Trump ad quotes Dr. Fauci saying that about him, the president. Trump and his campaign deliberately lied, making it sound like Fauci was talking about Trump. Fauci went on the public air.
All right, so who gives a fuck about Fauci? Seriously. He's one doctor expert amongst thousands of experts, and not all of them have the same opinion. Fauci at one point was like, you don't need to wear a mask. Then he's like, oh, yeah, you should wear a mask. It's like, it's one or the other. Make up your mind, buddy. Just because you are an expert in your field doesn't mean you know it all. You're not all knowing on your subject. There's always learning. You're always learning something new. This is a novel virus. So Fauci doesn't know fucking shit about shit either. You know, he knows, obviously. That's his field, right? Epidemiology, that's his field. That's what he knows. That's what he's an expert on. Well, at first he was like, you don't got to wear a mask. Then you got to wear a mask. So opinions change as evidence change. Okay? Well, whatever we believed of it in the beginning, it's not the same now, because as you can clearly see, Trump caught it. And like 3 days later, he's chilling. And now he's even claiming that he has immunity. A lot of people have gotten it in the White House, and they're all still laughing, kicking. Like, it's not, I don't want to say it's not that serious, because who knows? You know how this YouTube shit goes. But at the same time, I'm not seeing a whole lot of people just dropping dead. So let's continue, Mr. Biden.
And the ad came out saying 3 days ago, I did not give permission for that quote. He wasn't referring to the president. And even after that, Fauci said he didn't say that. The president and the campaign, even after Fauci laid this out, the campaign said, we're still going to use it, because he did say it, even though it wasn't about him. The point I'm trying to make is, it was a knowing lie, like we're being told about everything about this COVID consequences. As a consequence to his months of overwhelming lying, misleading, irresponsible action on the part of Donald Trump,
Interesting.
How many empty chairs were around your breakfast table this morning? Someone you loved, someone you cared about, someone you knew, a family member or a neighbor, missing. And what?
All right, so what he's doing here now, right? Talking about the virus again, because obviously somebody probably knows somebody that was affected by it in a negative way. So he's pulling at your heartstrings. So I'm hearing him. I get it. Bad situation, right? No bueno. Not really. We really couldn't prevent it, because China kept some information from us. So it's not like we could have prevented it. But now that we're dealing with it, of course, there are going to be some tragic stories. But what I want to know, Mr. Biden, is what the fuck are you going to do about it?
Why? Because of negligence. Look, I view this campaign, as I've said before, and I'll say it again, between Scranton and Park Avenue, between Toledo and Park Avenue. All Trump can see is from Park Avenue is Wall Street. That's why his only metric for American prosperity that he values is the Dow Jones and the index. Like a lot of you.
That's right. That's right. Listen, it is no secret that Trump is in love with the color green, money green. We all know this. You don't become a billionaire because you don't value wealth. And the stock market is a good indication that the economy is doing good. Your average people do have a stake in the stock markets called 401ks. We all know what that is. So Jojo, again, I'm waiting for Mr. Biden over here to tell me what he's going to do differently that's going to help us.
I spent a lot of my time with guys like Trump looking down on me, the Irish Catholic kid in the neighborhood. Guys who thought they were better than me because they had a lot of money. Guys who inherited everything they ever got and still managed to squander it. I have to admit, and I shouldn't have done it, but I've on record saying it, so I'll repeat it. I still have a little bit of chip on my shoulder about guys like him. I read some stories after I got the nomination that, quote, if Biden gets elected, he'll be the first non-Ivy League school graduate to get elected in I think it was 80 or 90 years. Guys, have a seat, man. You know what? Like some state school guy went to the University of Delaware, I was proud of it. Hard to get there, hard to get through in terms of money. But folks, since when can someone who went to a state university not be qualified to be president? Folks, I know what it takes to be president. I sat next to a man.
Okay, so I'm assuming that whole spiel was just for him to let us know that because he didn't go to an Ivy League school, he can be president. I believe that's what he was trying to say. But again, what the fuck does that have to do with the solutions to the problems that America is facing today?
For 8 years watching and participating. My mom taught me that what you're probably taught by your parents too.
Ay, 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 Jehová, ayúdame, coño, carajo, te digo. Now, we're gonna get a story about his mama and something that he told him. Jesus. And the interesting thing about it is that you really can't verify that kind of shit because I'm pretty sure his mom is no longer with us or his dad. So he can be making up whatever the fuck type of story he wants. I can say all kinds of shit about my dad because he's not around anymore. So there's no way to verify whether any of the shit he's saying is actually true. But what did your mama tell you, Joey? What did your mama tell you?
Say, Joey, nobody is better than you, but everybody's your equal. I don't measure people based on the size of their bank account. I don't respect people based on whether they own a mansion. I don't judge them based on whether they belong to a country club. You and I measure people by the strength of their character, their honesty, their courage. Their courage. My mom used to say the greatest gift of all, the greatest virtue is courage. You're redeemed by your courage.
The greatest virtue of all, the greatest... Jesus Christ. Seriously, guys? This is what we got going. This is the guy that's up by 12 points. Can't even complete a sentence properly. So far, I've heard no solutions, by the way. And I'm pretty sure you haven't either.
That's what she's saying. Redeemed by your loyalty. Honesty, loyalty, things that are bigger than yourself. They're the neighborhoods we were raised in. It's all about family, decency, honor, opportunity. These are the values I learned growing up in Scranton. My guess is you learned growing up in Toledo, wherever you grew up. The people I grew up with in Scranton didn't have any money in stocks. In our house growing up, every penny my dad made went to paying the bills, keeping the lights on and food on the table. Every penny our friends in Scranton made went to paying the bills and taking care of their families as well. And we looked out for our neighbors. That's why I have a different measure by which I judge the health of America's economy. I see hard-working women and men who are just trying to earn an honest living and take care of their families, just want an even shot. They're not asking for anything, they're just asking for a fair shot. And you know, given a shot, the American people have never, ever, ever, ever let their country down. Never.
Why is he so angry? He's like You're gonna feel shot. Now, I don't disagree with this little thing that he's saying there because, like I said, he's just pandering and saying nice things, I guess. And obviously, you know, people want to work. And so what he's saying now, it's just fluff. Honestly, it's just fluff. It's pandering. I guess it's a form of pandering as far as I'm concerned. But so far, he hasn't said shit. I haven't learned a fucking thing, and I'm sick and tired of listening to Scranton. I'm from Scranton. I've never been to fucking Scranton. I don't know what the fuck Scranton is. I know it's a place in Jersey, I guess, somewhere. Is it even Jersey? I don't even know where the fuck he's from. But or maybe I do, and I just don't remember at the moment because I've been watching him, so I'm starting to get some fucking Joe Biden dementia. My goodness gracious. And I'm not trying to say he's demented, but there's something off. That's not the same Joe from 10 years ago. I can tell you that.
The expression my dad would have, he said, when you see the abuse of power, there's only one way to respond to it, and that's with power. And the only power we have to take on corporate America is union power. That's the only power.
I don't really understand that.
I just think
I don't understand union power. Not all unions are good. I guess unions are useful in some instances. I don't really know much about it. I know that I don't like being a part of a union because you gotta pay those motherfuckers for nothing. I guess so that in the event that you get fired, they'll help you not get fired. I guess. Not really. I don't know much about unions. I just know that I don't particularly like being in one of them because I don't like to pay union dues and union fees because that's more money that I have to give to you to represent me for what. I'm happy I got a job, so what the fuck's the big deal? But union power, okay. Now I don't know what the fuck that means, but let's go.
think back to 2008 when Barack and I were elected and we inherited the worst recession short of a depression in history. The president put me in charge of the Recovery Act, $800 billion. It was needed to save our economy from going into depression. We did it with less than 0.2% waste or fraud. We're able to see to it that Ohio and other states receive substantial assistance to address their economic pain and recover and rebuild, to make sure we kept teachers, firefighters, and cops, public nurses on the job.
Okay, so I don't know much about the Recovery Act, but there is one thing I do know for sure. They bailed out everybody else industries. They bailed out a whole bunch of people. They gave the banks money, too big to fail type deal. And they didn't give us shit. Trump at least cut us a check for this whole COVID thing. It wasn't a huge check, but it was something. Obama didn't give us shit. So, but that right there, what he's saying, I'm gonna have to look into it and see if the Recovery Act was good or not good. But I know that he didn't give us shit. I know that.
People are being laid off now because you don't have the local money to do it. So they didn't have to be fired because of lack of money. That was the federal government stepped up. And it started the longest sustained economic recovery in American history that this guy inherited and then squandered again. But you know what, Mitch?
All right, so that right there, I'm gonna call bullshit on that. I'm gonna call bullshit on that because all the headlines for the longest time was we're the lowest recovery since the Depression. So it wasn't like a fast recovery. It was recovering. I'll give him that much. But Trump didn't squander it. If anything, he expedited that, and the economy was great before the WUFU. And by all metrics, you don't have to be a Republican, you don't got to be a Democrat, you don't got to like Trump, not like Trump. I don't give a fuck. If you do a little bit of homework, you do a little bit of research, you look at the stuff, you look at the stock market, you look at the finances, you will see that as far as financing is concerned, United States was on the up and up before the WUFU. Now it's starting to get rebuilt again, but a lot of Democratic-run cities want to continue the lockdowns, like New York and that kind of stuff, which I don't know if you guys heard recently. New York, he's locking up the Jewish people and shit because they don't want them to be out there. They don't want them to gather, but yet protests, riots, no problem. But I digress. Let's continue.
McConnell said recently about helping the states and cities. He said, quote, let them go bankrupt. Well, I heard that before. You heard it too. Republicans said the same thing about the automobile industry. Like I said, I come from
the automobile industry. Jojo feels like his dentures are like he's fighting with the dentures while he talks or something, because he can't pronounce words properly. It drives me fucking insane. I have a hard time really listening to this shit. This shit like aggravates me. It's almost like listening to really bad music, really loud bad music, and you can't turn it off, and it's just like drives you nuts. That's kind of how I feel with him sometimes. He just mumbles and utters just incoherent words. Like damn. How the fuck did we get how did we get here with him? Makes no sense to me.
Automobile state and automobile man. The auto industry, supported 1 in 8 Ohioans, was on the brink. It was more than 10 years ago, but you remember it like it was yesterday. It was on the brink. But Barack and I bet on you and the American worker, and it paid off. I argued that the American worker was the finest auto worker in the world. Management screwed it up. You didn't. You didn't make the mistake. And by the way, it all got paid back, but guess who made the greatest sacrifices? Auto workers.
Why is he turning
You
around?
made the sacrifices
Like,
to get it back.
There's nobody there.
So it's over the many objections of many that we stepped in and rescued the automobile industry. General Motors and Chrysler, saving 1 million jobs. And then what happened when Donald Trump came to office? Remember what Trump said in 2017 in Lordstown?
What happened when
he said,
Trump
don't
took
move.
office?
Quote, don't move, don't sell your house. Well, Lordstown shut down on Trump's watch. And after a decade in Cleveland, after the debate in Cleveland, I met with an elementary school teacher from Lordstown.
After a decade in Cleveland. He meant to say debate, but said decade. He fixed it, but still. Is he not reading from a teleprompter? I'm pretty sure he's reading from a teleprompter. So how does he fuck this up?
Her husband was there as well, one of the workers who lost his job in Lordstown. He had to accept a transfer to a plant in Kentucky 8 hours away, one way, to maintain his health care and his pension. He drives 16 hours a weekend to see her and their 2 kids. But Donald Trump's betrayal doesn't stop there. He betrayed union workers at Goodyear when he called for a boycott of buying Goodyear tires because of a personal grudge.
Oh my goodness gracious. A little bit unpack here. Didn't you fuckers want to cancel Goya? Didn't you boycott Goya because the CEO of Goya was said something nice about Trump? Well, Goodyear said some other shit. And they didn't say anything about Trump. It had to do with it's okay for you to have a BLM t-shirt, but it's not okay for you to have a Make America Great Again t-shirt. That's what the fuck that was all about. So how did he betray him? If you're gonna make a policy, it has to be even for everybody. So if you can wear your BLM shirt, then I can wear my Make America Great Again shirt. All right? Or tell you what, how about none of us wear it and we just wear regular shirts with no messaging at all? That's better. That's fair. Because if you're gonna have your messaging, then I'm gonna want to have my messaging too. It ain't fair. All right? Aren't we all about equality? Aren't we all about equality? So what's good for you is not good for me. Hold on, no. If you want to have your BLM t-shirt, right? If you want to have whatever political slogan you want to use in your t-shirt, that's fine. But I could too. And that's what the whole Goodyear shit was about. I guess they had some restrictions on political stuff, and basically was anything that had to do with Trump is a no bueno. Anything that had to do with everything else, the liberal, hey, way to go. But God forbid, the Goya guy says, hey, Trump is a good president. He's doing some good shit. Nobody eat Goya. Bitch, food. Goya's the shit. Stop playing. Don't try to boycott Goya. What the fuck you think we eat? What the fuck you think we Puerto Ricans eat, baby? Look at my refrigerator. Look at my pantry. Half this shit is Goya. Get the fuck out of here. And you want to boycott Goya, and you're worried about fucking Goodyear? Get the fuck out of here.
He passed a tax bill for the super wealthy and corporations that actually provided incentives for companies to move jobs overseas.
No,
Folks, manufacturing is the backbone of America. But we're in a manufacturing recession.
Yeah, how does he get away with lies like that? Like, how does he get away with that? Trump hasn't incentivized anybody to go anywhere. If anything, he's trying to make them stay here, which is why he's doing tariffs. You know, the tariffs that nobody wants. Oh, you're going to do a trade war. You're starting a trade war because of the tariffs. No, tariffs is okay because other countries do us tariffs too. So exactly how to... You lost me there, Jojo. You lost me. You're gonna have to give me a little bit more information when that happened, because last I recall, Trump tries to get people here, and if not, he charges you more to do business over there. So don't play with me, Joe. Stop lying. Stop lying, dog.
Because of Donald Trump, even before the COVID virus hit, we're down 647,000 manufacturing jobs nationwide since the crisis started. And our balance of payments, meaning we're sending more overseas than coming to us. I mean, we're buying more overseas than we're selling.
Get it straight. Get your thoughts straight, Joe. You know he's having problems when he closes his eyes, but he's like forcing it. Why is he acting like it wasn't them who did NAFTA? Isn't NAFTA the one that took all of our manufacturing jobs and sent them overseas? That's under the democratic policies, not Trump's. It's like we live it like this is like an alternate reality. It's like everything is opposite. It's quite interesting, actually. Interesting times we live in.
It's been a long time. There's still 10,900 lost auto worker manufacturing jobs.
10,000. Joe in numbers, no bueno. Joe in numbers, no bueno. I don't know if it was this speech or another speech, but this mofo was talking about he wants to increase the minimum wage to $15 million an hour. Shit. Yeah. I'll vote for you. If you gonna do that, I'll vote for you. I'll take $1 million an hour. I'm good with that. Fuck it. I'm cheap, bro. I'll take $100 an hour. Shit. 50 is good too. I'll do $50 an hour. But this motherfucker talking about $15 million an hour, and now he can't get this number straight. And he's horrible with numbers. Last time he was fighting with 15 to 20 and 16, 30. Spit it out, JoJo. Spit it out.
Jobs in Ohio have not come back. The Trump presidency will be the first presidency since Herbert Hoover over.
He kills the Trump president, a presidency. Pronounce your fucking words, bro. You're 78 years old, for fuck's sakes. I think you've had enough experience with the English language where you can put sentences together. I keep harping on that, but it's just frustrating. It's annoying. It's like, dude, all right, fine. If you're gonna lie or whatever, lie. But at least, can you talk the same language? I don't have to look. I just did it too. See, it fucks me up. I don't gotta decipher it. Realistically speaking, see, I'm talking just like him now. I really need to rewind to hear what the hell he has to say sometimes. But let's proceed.
90 years ago, first president of modern history to leave office with fewer jobs than he had when he came to office.
And I've heard that from him a few times. He's going to be the first president to leave office with fewer jobs than when he came in. Well, had he left office before the coup, he would have left with the most jobs. And you're under the assumption that he's actually going to leave office like now. He's not leaving office now. I'm pretty sure the American people are not going to vote for Joe. I'm pretty sure. Unless my eyes are deceiving me and I'm not really seeing thousands of people coming off for fucking Pence and 3 people coming off for Biden. And I say Pence because it's ridiculous how the vice president can actually gather more people than the guy who's running for president. Incredible. But let's continue with this torturous episode of The Angry Rican. This is perfect. This is perfect for my title, for my show, because this shit gets you angry listening to this guy, which is, I don't know.
Donald Trump's only plan is more tax cuts for the wealthy. Most of you, if you still have a job, paid more than he paid last year in taxes. $750? Come on. The system.
That's another thing too, with the whole tax thing. Nobody wants to pay extra taxes, and maybe Trump did pay $750 in taxes, but was it illegal? Are you gonna volunteer extra money if you don't have to? He's been in the Senate, right? He's been in politics for 47 years, so he's had the opportunity to fix some of those tax loopholes, right? That the billionaires and millionaires use to pay less tax. But he hasn't done it because he himself is a millionaire, which I don't even know how he's a millionaire because I don't know of any Joe Biden businesses, but that's no here nor there. And why hasn't he done anything in the last 47 years to remedy that situation? If you want Trump and people like Trump to pay more taxes, then maybe you should fix the tax codes. Don't you think there, sir? But if Trump did nothing illegal, there's nothing to see here, folks. He's used the laws that were already in power, and no sane person is going to pay extra in taxes. Period. That's just fucking stupid. Why would you do that? Nobody's going to do that. The fuck, you think people become millionaires because they're fucking dumbasses like that? Oh yeah, let me just give you an extra $1,000 because I care for our country. That shit does not work like that. Where we don't want to pay any taxes at all.
System's rigged. We're going to change it. $30 billion, a new proposal, just for the gains of the 100 richest billionaires in America. $30 billion. Hear me? They made $30 billion alone.
I like he's. Oh my God, Joe. He's screaming, $30 billion. You hear me? Yeah, we hear you loud and clear, Joe. You're screaming. I hear you. But so far, we're a few minutes, a lot of minutes into this thing, and 15 minutes into his actual speech, and I'm not hearing any solutions of anything. All I hear is criticism and complaining. I hear a whole lot of bitching, a whole lot of complaining about shit, storytelling, but yeah, I haven't seen any solutions. Like, what the fuck are you gonna do for us? Like, how are you gonna make this better, sir? How you gonna make this better? You've had 47 years to make shit better. Shit's only getting worse in some aspects. Some aspects, things are getting good. What's your solution? Talk to me. Talk to me, Joe. Maybe in the next 15 minutes, you got something important to say to me.
In this year, while the rest of the people are getting killed, in the middle of this pandemic, why do Republicans have time to hold a hearing on the Supreme Court providing the significant economic need for localities? I'll tell you why. It's about finally getting his wish to wipe out the Affordable Health Care Act.
What is this? You gotta love these talking points, right? Because I don't know who was it that said that if you repeat a lie over and over and over and over again, eventually people will start believing in it. And they haven't been able to pass the bill to bail us out or whatever reason, because Nancy Pelosi is asking for a bunch of shit that the Republicans don't want. So they're fighting it. Whatever. It is what it is. I'm not worried about that shit. But the whole thing with the Supreme Court justice kind of aggravates me a little bit, because his spokesperson or one of the people that work for him went on CNN try to say that it was unconstitutional what the president is doing or what the Senate is doing. It's not. The president is president for 4 fucking years, folks. For 4 fucking years, whether you like it or not. 4 years. 4 years. If Obama would have been president right now and this same situation would have happened, he was well within his right to do so. We'll sit here and we'll bitch and complain about it, and we'll probably be doing the same thing the Democrats are doing. No, you can't do it. It's in the middle of an election. The people gotta choose. The people already chose. They chose a majority Republican Senate, right? Because we've had primaries since Trump's been president, and they gained a couple of seats. So the American made their choice, and we voted for Trump, and Trump won legally, fairly. So what's the big deal? So they're within the constitutional right and the legal right to do what they're doing. The fact that it just so happens that the timing sucks for you guys. I get it. The timing is horrible. We're gonna go ahead 3 scoops. 3? Whoo! Baby. That 3 and they're fairly young, so at least for the next, I don't know, 30, 40 years, they're going to be a little bit more conservative leaning. But that's not what the Supreme Court is about. They have to be impartial judges. The fact that you're more conservative or more liberal should not dictate how you're going to rule on certain things. You got the law and you got the Constitution. If Congress passes a law, you got to interpret whether that's constitutional or not. Your personal feelings don't matter. Your personal beliefs don't matter. It's whatever the fuck the Constitution says. So let's get that straight. So they're within the legal right to do this. So I don't know why he keeps with this stupid argument. Let the people choose. Dude, we chose Trump, not Hillary. So get over it. Hopefully, well, maybe for you, maybe someone will retire. If you win, you're not gonna win. Well, maybe you might win. Who knows? They cheat. But let's go.
Because their nominee has said in the past that the law should be struck down. His relentless effort to eliminate the Affordable Care Act provided health care coverage for 20 million people who didn't have it. Protections for well over 100 million people with pre-existing conditions. And we've seen his...
That's another thing, too. They keep talking about pre-existing conditions. Dude, since Trump ran for president, he's always said he's going to cover pre-existing conditions. Like, I don't get it. Like, how many times did the man got to say that he's going to do it? And Trump is a dude that if he says he's going to do something, he does it. I think we've proven that. He wanted to build a wall. And guess what? The wall's being built. Now, let the lefties tell you, let the CNN tells you he's not building shit. He's building it. Trust me. He's building that fucking wall. It's getting built. There's plenty of video footage. I mean, we have these things. We have these things right here called cell phones. These things got cameras. People record all the time, and they record these videos. Like when you go to the rallies, you're gonna tell me that Trump doesn't have thousands of people there and Biden? Like, you can't lie. It's people have cell phones. People are there. What are you talking about? You're killing me over here, Jojo. Stop lying. I'm still waiting for solutions, though. We're still waiting for solutions, right? We're talking a lot of shit here, but we're still waiting for solutions. So I haven't heard any yet. But we're still talking about complaints.
Pledge, quote, to terminate the tax dedicated to financing Social Security. Marcy and I were talking about that. You know what the actuary at the Social Security Department said? If it goes through, this tax he's talking about cut for the on Social Security, it will actually bankrupt.
I can't. Yo, can somebody tell me what that means? When he closes his eyes. Now, he says he had a stutter when he was a kid. But, dude, the man's been in the public view for 47 fucking years. You can go back and listen to his speeches. He wasn't stuttering when he was talking. What is that? It's weird. It's not right. It's not right. Who does that? Who closes their eyes to they're really forcing what they were gonna say? This stuff should just flow. Like, it should just flow. Like, you see me, this shit ain't scripted. I'm just watching a video and I'm rambling. I'm talking shit. And of course, because I'm talking a lot, sometimes I might fuck up the words and whatnot, but I don't close my eyes like that. Like, it's odd. It's very odd.
Bankrupt Social Security by the middle of 2023. Go home and tell your parents that. Not once has President Trump called for a high-level meeting between Democrats and Republicans in the White House. This is going on now. The House already passed back in the beginning of the summer this petition to be able to reconcile people who are in real trouble.
This what? This petition? The fuck he's saying?
Get help to states like we did. He hadn't once called a meeting between Democrats and Republicans to deliver the new COVID relief package for working families and small businesses that are going bankrupt. He spent too much time in the bunker of his golf course or in the bunker of the White House than he was willing to actually sit to try to work something.
All right, so yo, how do they get away with this? This is interesting. I guess there was a point somewhere a couple of months ago where I guess somebody or some people were trying to infiltrate the White House or something with the protests, and Trump went to the bunker for a split second. It wasn't because he wanted to go, but it's because it's part of the contingency. It's part of the shit. You know what I'm saying? You got to go to the fucking bunker once in a while because something might pop off. So he went to the bunker. He was only there for a couple of hours, I'm sure, not even. And this guy right here has the audacity to tell him to get out of his bunker and his golf course. Who the fuck has a bunker in the golf course? In a golf course? Sound like him. It's just stupid. And Trump, even while he was in the hospital, he was putting out videos and shit. Trump is out there all day, every day. As a matter of fact, sometimes even though I like Trump, I get tired of seeing that motherfucker a lot of times. It's like he's fucking everywhere. He's all everywhere. He got a speech here, got a speech there. He's taking questions from the media here, doing a press conference over here. He's addressing here, he's addressing there. This motherfucker's everywhere, bro. Joe, dude. You've been MIA for most of the fucking most of this election season. You've been MIA. You've been missing in action. Nobody knows where the fuck you've been. You've been in the basement this whole time. Now all of a sudden we got a couple of weeks to go before the election. All of a sudden you want to pop your head out of your fucking basement and you want to make comments that Trump is stuck in his bunker. You fucking kidding me, bro? Trump has been running circles around you, bro. When this man leaves his house or his basement, like they like to say, because apparently Trump is the bunker and he's the basement. But the thing is, Trump was in the bunker for like a couple of hours. This mofo's been in the basement this whole time. And then when he does come out, he usually goes to like a local place so he doesn't have to travel too far. And then when he does travel to different places, there's nobody there to see him. So he might as well just stay in his damn basement and do everything through the camera because nobody shows up anyways, which is embarrassing. And optic-wise is embarrassing. If you want to keep up the facade that he's winning at 12%, which is, I find that really hard to believe, but whatever. Then perhaps you should keep his ass in the basement because at least that way you don't have the optics of nobody showing up to watch his rallies because frankly it's fucking pathetic. And that whole circle around, like 6 feet social distancing, that whole circle, it's silly, folks. It's fucking stupid. Come on.
Out. Check it out. First president I can ever remember in the middle of a national economic crisis did not try to call the parties together. He turned his back on you. I promise you I will never do that.
You already have. But go ahead.
Folks.
I'm so angry.
That's why my Build Back Better plan is built around a simple concept.
So I want to notice something, right? So he looks angry, right? Trump is happy all the time. Now, even when he's talking shit, even when he's talking shit about people that are talking shit about him, he's never really angry. He does it like in a playful manner, and he jokes around and like, you fake news over here, fake news. This guy's like, it's like this angry dude. It's like, calm the fuck down, Joe. And listen, I don't mean for this video to be this long, but hey, this man gives us a lot of material. All right, Jojo, I'm still waiting for solutions. I'm still listening to complaints, and I'm not finding any solutions, Jojo. So please, I'm falling asleep over here. Give me some solutions.
It's time to reward work, not wealth. Work.
Work creates wealth.
I mean it. An independent analysis by a big Wall Street firm called Moody's, not a Democratic think tank. Yes, they did an analysis. of my economic plan to revive this country
You have none.
and an analysis of his. Here's what they concluded: that my plan will create 18.6 million jobs in the next 4 years. 7 million.
All right, so of course, sure. If you plan on retrofitting all of the buildings to be how do I say this? Or what's the proper word I want to use? So if you're going to retrofit all of the buildings in the entire United States so that they can help reduce CO2 and thus helping us with global warming, I would think that you would be creating thousands upon thousands of jobs, because you're gonna be retrofitting a lot of shit. But at the same time, you're also want to eliminate fossil fuels and fracking and all that other good stuff. So that's gonna eliminate a whole bunch of jobs. So somewhere along the line, there's gonna be some cancellation of shit, and you ain't gonna be gaining nothing. And this whole Green New Deal thing, which is his plan, even though he says it's not his plan, but it really is. It's actually gonna cost us a hell of a lot more money than what he's talking about. But let Joe tell it. Let him do his thing. Talk to me, Joe.
More than the president's economic plan. It would generate economic growth of an additional $1 trillion more than the president's plan. Look, what these guys don't get is when you do well, when my family does well, everybody does better. Everybody does better. That's the God's truth. Here's how my...
Honestly, he really shouldn't be mentioning his family at all at this point. When you do well, then my family does well. We all do well. We all do better. Well, your family does pretty fucking well, if I may say so myself. Your family, and I'm not gonna get into the fool's thingamajig, but I do know that your uncle, I'm sorry, not your uncle, that your son and your brother, and I think maybe your sister and some y'all got some shady shit going on, making a little bit of money, especially your son Hunter Biden. Now that's a topic that we can talk about all day, about Hunter Biden, all the new shit that's coming out about Hunter Biden. If that shit's Don Jr. or Eric Jr., whoo, the media would be on fire right now. The YouTube would be on fire. Everybody would be on fire talking about Don Jr. If Don Jr. did half the shit that Hunter Biden has been doing, because Hunter Biden, he's a fucking mess. He's a reckless mess, and somebody needs to investigate that whole Burisma Ukraine shit. All right, let's go.
My plan works. I'm not going to raise taxes on anyone who makes less than $400,000 a year. If you make more than 400, beep your horn, because you're going to get a tax raise. Well, I'm going to raise your tax slightly if you're making over 400.
Oh my God, this is so stupid. Why would you run on, I'm going to raise your taxes? You're fucking dumb. And here's another thing that people don't realize, and maybe people do realize it, they just don't care. But when you raise taxes on the rich, they're going to pass it down. They're not fucking stupid. They didn't become rich because they're idiots. So do you really think that they're going to take a pay cut? You really think that they're going to, you're going to tax them extra, and you really think that they're going to be like, oh, all right, fine, fuck it, let's just keep everything the same. Let me just go ahead and, pay these extra taxes. No. Whatever products they're selling is going to go up a little bit. Whatever salaries they're paying their employees is going to go down a little bit, because we got to even it out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not losing fucking money because you want to pass through taxes. Hell no, that's my business. I'm trying to make money. You know what I mean? I'm providing jobs, but at the end of the day, I'm taking care of number one. I give a shit about me. I'm providing you jobs. I'm giving you jobs. But hey, you want to tax me extra? Hey, you're the one that's gonna pay for it, not me. I'm not taking a pay cut because he raised taxes. Hell no. I'm gonna increase the prices of things are gonna go up, and most likely my employees are gonna get probably less benefits, and they're definitely gonna get paid less. I'm not gonna start you at $20 an hour or $15. I'm gonna start everybody at the minimum wage. Fuck that. So that's kind of dumb. And then if you continue to just constantly increase the taxes on the rich people, constantly increase the taxes on the rich people, eventually they're just gonna have enough and be like, fuck this, I'm done. So let's go.
But look, you're not going to pay a penny more. In fact, tens of millions of middle-class families are going to get a tax cut when they need it most. And raising their kids, trying to get affordable health care, buying their first home, or saving for retirement.
There we go. Pulling up the
But I'm going to ask
heartstrings.
big corporations and the super wealthy just to begin to start to pay their fair share. I'm going to raise back the tax cut he gave for corporate America. They were paying in the mid-30s and now paying 21. If we just raise the tax back to what it should be, 28%, that generates over $100 billion.
That's a lot. I'm sorry, but that's a lot of money, man. 28%? I think 25% is too much. But, I mean, the next guy's going to be like, whoa, we need a little more. We need a little more. We need a little more. Next thing you know, it's going to be like 50%. And then it's going to be like, what the fuck's the point of me working in the first place? The hell am I going to work for? So I can pay you guys so you can squander it on bullshit? I don't like this tax thing. Not for anybody. I don't think. I mean, that we need taxes for sure. For sure, we need taxes because we got roads, we got infrastructure. I guess that's part of roads and infrastructure, same shit. But we got to fix those things. We need police and we need a military. But that's just about it.
You hear me? That's money. I mean, excuse me, $1.3 trillion. That's what.
That's money. You hear me? That's money. That's $1 trillion. Whoa, hold on. Yo, his handler's got to tell Joe, don't talk about money. Don't talk about money no more. Just don't mention money. Don't mention numbers. Just don't mention no numbers. Just don't mention any numbers at all. Just stop. Stop. Because, I mean, hell, last time he couldn't go. Jail 30330. No, don't talk about numbers, Jojo. Don't talk about numbers, please.
It raises to help hardworking folks, to allow us to invest in working people and grow the middle class, make sure everybody comes along this time. My plan will create 1 million good-paying union jobs, manufacturing and building products and technology that we need now and in the future. We're not investing in research. It starts with a pretty basic idea. You know, the federal government every year spends $600 billion.
That's the idea.
Just making sure that we have ships and planes, cars, trains, all the things the government lets contracts for. Well, I promise you this. Every single product, every single contract will be only let to a company or a firm that makes it in America from beginning to end.
Okay.
Not a joke.
Right. Not a joke. Not a joke. Not a joke. Jojo, that's the best thing he said so far. Not a joke. Not a joke. That's the best. Well, not a joke, but that's not a joke. That right there. Make it in America. Build in America. Yeah, I could get down with that, Jojo. I get down with that. I'm cool with that. All right. There's only one problem, Joe. Trump's already been doing that. If I'm not mistaken, and if you guys are watching this and you've lasted this long, you can fact check me on this. But the Keystone Pipeline, wasn't that all those parts for the pipeline? Wasn't that done here in America? Wasn't that part of the deal? We'll open it up. We'll make it, but you got to do the iron and all that shit. Got to be from the United States. So I'm with Jojo on this one. Make it here. But it was his policies and his buddies' policies that got us to buy shit and do shit at other countries in the first place. But no joke. I'm with Jojo on that one. You still don't got my vote, fucker. But I'm with you there. And unfortunately, you're a little late, buddy, because Trump's been doing that. But kudos to that one.
Going to use to buy American products, support American jobs.
Mm-hmm.
We'll invest to build more resilient infrastructure, roads, bridges, ports. 1.5 million new affordable housing units. High-speed broadband in every American household, more important than ever. We're going to rebuild crumbling schools, retrofit 4 million buildings, and weatherize 2 million homes, creating 1 million new jobs.
I'm talking about retrofit buildings. That's a task in itself. And who's going to fork up the bill for that? Do you honestly think that the government is going to go to a homeowner and be like, hey, listen, buddy, I'm going to give you $20,000 for you to retrofit this? You really think that's going to happen? Okay, that'll be the day, but hey, maybe it could happen. I have a hard time believing that, but hey, anything is possible. We're in 2020. Anything is possible.
The reason why everyone from the electrical workers and every other major union is strongly supporting this. And it's all going to be done by certified union labor.
It's all gonna be done by certified union labor. Well, how about the little guy? What if I'm not? Why I gotta be the labor people? Why I gotta be the union people that gotta do all this work? Why can I retrofit houses too if I can? Why can the little guys do it? The one that's non-union. Why can those guys get a little bit of piece of the pie? Why I gotta be only unions? And I digress.
Promise. You may remember.
You know what's interesting? If you hear the horns, there's like 4 horns. Because if it was a lot more people, it would sound. You couldn't. If it was a lot more people there, the horns wouldn't be indistinguishable from the next one. Like you can hear each individual horn, and it's not a whole lot of them. Oh my God. All right, Joe.
When the president put me in charge of that $800 billion, not one single contract went out that wasn't prevailing wage. Not one. So we're going to end Trump's new incentive for sending jobs abroad. That's what he's done. More jobs are going abroad now.
That makes. What incentive is he talking about? If somebody in the comment, let me know what the fuck he's talking about, because that's not Trump, bro. That's not what Trump does. That is definitely not what Trump does. So somebody got to look this up for me. Maybe I'll look it up later. But that makes no fucking sense. Trump is incentivizing companies to go overseas. That's new to me, Joe. I guess I learned something today. I find that hard to believe, but hey, maybe Joe's right. Maybe he's not. I don't know. I'm gonna have to fact check him. Yeah, I'm gonna have to fact check him.
Now, any company that offshores a job is going to pay a 10% penalty. Any company that brings back a job or reopens a closed factory, like a manufacturing plant, they'll get a 10% credit for their investment.
Yo, I am in an alternative fucking reality. He's plagiarizing Trump. Isn't that what Trump's been wanting to do this whole fucking time? Build here, make here. Isn't that what Trump has been trying to do this whole fucking time? So what's the difference between him and Trump right about now when it comes to this particular issue? So why would you vote for this schlemiel when Trump's gonna be doing the same shit that he's advocating right now? So that's one thing that we agree on. So let's go.
We're going to make trade a trade strategy that fights for every American worker and every American job and actually get results. Not Trump's chaotic trade war, erratic tweets and bluster that's only stiffed American workers and consumers, including farmers. He's let you down. He's let us down. I promise you, I will stand up to China's trade abuses and I will invest in the American worker because I know no one.
Now we know he's full of shit. He is not going to deal with China. He is not. He's had the chance and he hasn't done shit.
Nobody can outcompete an American worker when they've gotten a fair shot. Nobody in the world. One more thing. The United States government owns and maintains an enormous fleet of vehicles. We're going to convert many of them to electric vehicles, and you're going to still need to build these transmissions for a long time to come. But any new jobs in that area are going to go to people who in the automobile industry, who are in the manufacturing, who in the UAW are going to be making these new vehicles, sourced right here in America. The government will provide and demand support to retool factories that are struggling to compete. The U.S. auto industry will step up. I'll expand capacity so the United States, not China, leads the world in modern new technology. We're going to make it easier for American consumers.
You know what I find very interesting? How you emphasize it, not China. not China. Yet there was an interview where he's like, China, our competitor? Come on, man. He's been soft on China always. His son got money from China. Like, are we really buying this, guys? Are we really buying this shit? Like, really? Like, really? Okay. Okay. All right. Hey, this is who you want. This is who you want. That's who you want. Okay. It should be. I'll tell you what. Trump is a godsend as far as content and content creators and just general talking shit about politics. Trump is a fucking godsend, right? He gives us all types of material. Joe Biden presidency. Oh man. Oh man. Oh, the content's gonna be lovely with him. Because the from the moment he gets inaugurated, all everybody's gonna be thinking is he gonna croak when he gonna go? Is he gonna make it another year? He's not looking too good. Where's Biden? I haven't seen him. We keep seeing a whole lot of Harris though. But where's Biden? Biden, where you at, buddy? I don't know. It'll be 4 interesting years to say the least, and hopefully we'll make it out all right, and then redo it again 4 years from now.
To move to the vehicles of the future by building a network of 500,000 charging stations across the country. We're offering consumers rebates to swap older, fuel-efficient cars. We're going to move in a direction that technology is taking us and making sure the UAW leads the way in how we do it. Together, this will mean 1 million good new jobs in the auto industry.
One horn.
Folks, it's an example of how we can do anything. I'm more optimistic about what we have a chance to do in the next 4 to 6 years, 8 years, than any time in my whole career. The blinders have been taken off the American people. They've seen with the combination of the pandemic, the economic crisis, the racial inequality we're facing, and what's going on internationally. And they're ready to step up. They know we have to change. Nothing is beyond the capacity of the United States of America. And I mean that. Think about it. We're the only country in the world that's come out of every crisis stronger than we went in because of who we are. As I've said to other world leaders, never underestimate the American people. There's no quit in America. There's none. In America, we can do anything that we need to do if we can do it together. Nothing can stop us. You know, we have to come together. That's why I'm running. I'm running as a proud Democrat for the Senate. When I am running as a proud Democrat for Vice President. And I'm running as a proud Democrat for President.
The fuck did he just say? Did this motherfucker just say he was running for the Senate again? I'm thinking he meant to say that he ran as a proud Democrat when he ran for the Senate, and that he ran as a proud American. I'm sorry, he ran as a proud Democrat when he was running for the vice presidency, and that he's running as a proud Democrat for the president of the United States. I believe that's what he meant to say, but that's not what came out of his mouth. But I believe that's what he meant to say, because otherwise it says that he said that he's running for the Senate. You're not running for the Senate, Joe. You're running for the presidency. But because he mentioned the other two, I'm gonna give him a pass on this one, and I'm gonna say that most likely he was talking about that he ran as a proud Democrat for the Senate, he ran as a proud Democrat for the vice presidency, and he ran as a proud Democrat for the presidency. So I'm not gonna give him that much shit. How everybody else has been giving him a lot of shit about that, because they're like, Joe, you forgot again because you've said it before. I'm running for the United States Senate. No, you're running for the presidency. That's twice he says that. But in this case, I'm just gonna go with he misspoke. I'm gonna give Jojo that one. I'm gonna give you that one, Jojo, but don't get used to it. You funny sometimes. You say some interesting things, but that we're about ready to wrap this bad boy up. So let's continue.
Well, I promise you this. I will govern as an American president. I'll govern for everyone who voted for me as well as against me. We can be better than what we've seen. We can be what we are at our best. The United States of America. So vote. Vote. Visit iwill.com/Ohio. God bless you. God.
By the way, okay, so I want to talk a little bit of shit. I will, whatever .Ohio. That's not a real website. Apparently, people, on the YouTubies and stuff, they've been saying it's not a real website, Jojo. So I don't know what the fuck he's talking about there. But hey, typical Joe. So let's finish that up.
Bless the auto workers. God protect. Thank you. Which way am I going?
Which way am I going? That part's funny. All right, so that's it. We're done with Sleepy Joe over here. That shit's that's hilarious actually. He's like, where am I going? Which way am I going? I don't know, Joe. You may want to try the same way you came up. The same way you came up. It's the same way you're going down. It's not like there's a fucking state you're outside, bro. It's a stage. The same way you came up, the same way you leave. Well, all right, guys. Well, that's it for this video. I know it's long as shit, just like the last one. But this is kind of what you have to do. You got to look at both sides, right? You can't just go by what the media is telling you. You can't go by what people like me are telling you, because obviously I'm biased towards Trump because I like Trump. So I'm more critical, I guess, when I look at Joe Biden. But that's because I expect more, right? Because if I already like Trump, right, it's your job to convince me to vote for you. So I need to know what you're going to do for us. I already know what Trump is going to do. He's been clear. Secure the borders, bring back manufacturing jobs, rebuild the military, and a whole bunch of other shit. That's a litany of things that Trump wants to do, but at least we know what they're going to do. Now, whether I agree with everything he wants to do is one thing, but at least I know what he's going to do, and I know what he has done. Joe, on the other hand, you already know what he's going to do. You just saw it. We just sat here. He just blabbed on for 30 minutes and didn't really say shit about shit. I know he's talking to the union workers and stuff like that, and he's pandering to them. But at the same time, he's not really saying anything. With the whole COVID-19, he's not giving us any solutions at all. And then the solutions that he did end up coming up with, those solutions are things that Trump have already been implementing anyways. So it's interesting times. This is an interesting election. I think Hillary was better than Biden. So based on that, I'm thinking that Trump is probably going to win. I'm hoping he wins, but with this whole mail-in ballots and all this Democrat stuff that they like to do, who knows? They might steal it. But as far as visual is concerned, what you see with your own eyes, you see thousands of people going to Trump rallies. You see thousands of people going to Mike Pence's rally. You see a few people going to his and her and Harrison's rallies. So based on that, I think Trump is going to win. But then again, I could be wrong. Anything could happen, right? Everybody thought that Hillary was going to win until she didn't. So it is what it is. With that said, folks, hey, thank you for your time. Thank you for sitting here and listening to me just blab on and rambled on. Appreciate you very much. Until next time, peace and love. I'm out.